Welcome back to the five-star sit-down alongside Devin Henry. I'm Jordan Ham, now joined by Nate Polk over at Saguaro High School. He just signed his letter of intent to join the Air Force, a 10-year commitment, not just the 4 that a usual college program has, but he's also going to serve after that. Nate, thanks so much for joining us on such a big day.
Thanks for having me.
So let's go into why you chose Air Force and that 10-year decision. What was it about that made it so attractive to you as a not only a football player, but as a person and a student?
Honestly, it was a brotherhood, first going there. I really saw kind of the same thing that we had going on at Saguaro with the family. I know that they're always going to have my back in everything that I do. And then academically, it's one of the best schools academic-wise, pretty close to an Ivy League, if not better. So I really just saw that. And then the 10-year commitment, I'm not looking at it so much as a commitment, more as a career and just getting my job started early and just a quicker way of making money.
Now, you guys at Saguaro, you kind of know a little bit about championship mentality. You've won a couple things here and there under Coach Mons, I think. But I'm really curious, what can you take from what Coach Mons has taught you in your 4 years at high school and take that not just to the next level in college, but also, as we mentioned, that 10-year commitment as well, being a part of the armed forces?
I think the main thing is to trust the process. Coach Mons at Saguaro always brings up just got to trust the process. It might be long. Things might not be going your way, but in the end, everything will work out for the best, and you just have to compete and get your way to the top.
So you are going to serve. Just what do you want to pursue once you're done playing football?
Honestly, right now, I'm not too sure. I was thinking about being a pilot, maybe checking that out while I'm up there.
And also, real quick, I want to go back to, kind of weird, but your high school days playing football at Saguaro. You had the opportunity to play with your younger brother. What is that like, being able to share something like that, going and winning state titles with your own brother?
It's really special. Growing up, I was always able to play with him in Pop Warner. We were always on the same team. He would always be pulled up with me. And it was really just nice to have that strong bond. And then also my younger brother, who was actually a freshman this year, I never really got to play with him. And having him pulled up to varsity this year was really special, just to have both of them with me.
Now it's going to be you and Clay Randall. We were talking this morning prior to this show, and you also reminded me that Max Massengale is already up there. These Saguaro guys, Coach Mons mentioned, for the Saguaro guys that are moving on to Air Force, they're kind of wired a certain way where they are really able to connect with that kind of academy mentality. Just what is it, do you think, about you 3 guys that makes you want to go ahead and go to the Air Force and make those sorts of commitments to the academy?
I think that we're just really hardworking players and people alone. We have an ability to see in the future, kind of just look down the path of not like what's going on right now, but see what's best for us going into life.
And looking at the short term, man, in a couple months you're going to be there at the Air Force Academy. What are you looking forward to when summer ball, fall ball, and the season rolls around here in just a few months, man?
So I'm going to the prep school, so honestly, I'm just looking to get bigger, stronger, faster in that time. And then hopefully by my freshman year, start getting some good playing time.
Nate, we appreciate the time. Congratulations again to you and all of the SaberCats that put pen to paper this morning.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
That is Nate Polk, the Saguaro senior and now the Air Force Academy signee. And again, this is just a really strong group. If we're looking strictly on the football field, a really strong group. They seem to recruit the state very well, but in this class you have Nate Polk, Clay Randall from Saguaro as well, Sunrise Mountain quarterback Keegan Freed, Centennial center Carson Keltner, Williams field safety Jaden Pearson, Campo Verde trenchman Trevor Cower, who's played on both sides of the ball, Pinnacle defensive tackle Sam Aquobo, and Horizon kicker Cole Johnson. And then you also throw in Kyle Patterson, who made his commitment earlier today. We're going to go more in depth on that. I was actually able to sit down with him earlier this week on that decision, but just quite a group that they're bringing in. Not only accomplished on the football field, but accomplished in the classroom and just in everyday life.
And what a variety, man. I mean, that's every corner of the valley and then extending out even further beyond that. And on top of that, bringing in that kind of caliber. I mean, you named off some big names here in Arizona high school football. To have that many in a single class from so far and wide in Arizona, that's an accomplishment right there on its own, and with the talent that they're going to bring in. But as we mentioned, that there's the 10-year commitment. This isn't a 4-year, you graduate, you move on with your life kind of commitment. This is a, you play football, and then you're in the Air Force. I mean, I had my own grandparents who were in the Air Force, and I think that that might be a tough sell sometimes to some kids who might have offers coming from other Power 5 schools instead, to say, you know, it's more than just your 4 years. It's 10 years being here in the Air Force. And when you're able to grab a boatload of kids who want to do that, I mean, that's tough on its own. And getting, like I said, this kind of caliber, that's huge.
And it's just so we are clear, in recent years, they actually have kind of changed those guidelines a little bit, where guys can now pursue the NFL. In the case of Patterson, you know, he was exploring the option of serving, but it's not a foregone fact anymore. There are plenty of options to go ahead and do that, but it is still quite a commitment. And we're going to go ahead and, on the other side of this break, kind of break down our biggest storylines within signing day, and plus also hear from Kyle Patterson. Like I said, I was able to sit down with him a couple days ago about that decision. He had plenty of good options, and he decided to go Air Force, so we're going to break that down coming up next on a 5-Star Sit Down.